Ni hao, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and today we will be talking about Cardano. But more importantly, I want to talk about as Facebook's crypto Libra, quote unquote crypto. I'm not surprised they don't even include the word crypto in the headline because I wouldn't really classify Libra as a cryptocurrency. But anyway, as Facebook's Libra faces headwinds, China is racing to launch its own global cryptocurrency, and so Facebook's cryptocurrency plans to look shaky this week after a handful of high-profile members bowed out of the project. But while Libra slowly gets off the ground, China is looking to launch an alternative, and this is pretty interesting. I also want to talk about this article. I refuse to turn off my ad block, in part because I don't really give a shit about Forbes, but yeah, you could see it, the headline, billionaire Peter Thiel is doubling down on Bitcoin, and here's why. So Bitcoin cryptocurrency, I mean, if you guys are really interested that much, go ahead and check that article out. It's not really that important, but at the same time, I think that it does emphasize a broader conversation that we need to have, in particular when it comes to wealthy individuals and their warming up to cryptocurrency, and it's a good thing. It's something worth noting, and I think that as we see a lot of the competition in business and all these other aspects adapting themselves to and of course creating their own projects. I mean, the perfect example of this is the whole China thing. That's why I want to start the video talking off about it. But more importantly, I think that it's important for us to pay attention to what Cardano has set down already and created a foundation, based on scientific and academic credentials that other cryptos will essentially have to match or overcome by following the same sequence of events that has already solidified Cardano where it is, which I think as time becomes more of a factor, it will be more attractive to have blockchains such as Cardano that already are well off in the way. So I mean, we've got this article right here. Cardano shares details of its partnership with New Balance to solve authenticity on the blockchain. We've talked about this before. Very interesting stuff. Definitely exciting to see, Cardano getting talked about in that sort of side of, of course, validating, for the authenticity of designer products. A very big sort of market, and it will be interesting to see, and I think that cryptocurrency certainly is a match made in heaven when we want to talk about blockchain technology and all the things that it makes possible. That is sort of bullish in its own right, and of course, Charles Hoskinson, a soul in hell. That's kind of a funny article, but in his Longmount Cardano office, there's an odd painting on the wall that Charles Hoskinson faces. It depicts a Roman man sitting in a beautiful garden. What's stirring is the look of utter torment on the Roman's face, even as he sits in such a lovely place. In many ways, that's an apt metaphor for Hoskinson, the man who founded the new, long-anticipated and potently revolutionary crypto platform Cardano. I'm kind of polarized. People either like me or they hate me. We like you, Charles. Don't be too self-conscious. It's an unattractive trait. There's not a lot of people in between, he says. So true enough, as the creator of Cardano, Hoskinson, 32, is revered and celebrated as a serial entrepreneur and polymath. But as a co-creator of Ethereum, the second most valuable blockchain, he's derided as an incompetent, turncoat, thin Scottish, okay. Hoskinson has spent the past 5 years building Cardano in the 13th largest cryptocurrency by market cap, working relentlessly to, displace Ethereum, yada yada. So, I mean, it is interesting to see, just moreover, I mean, not necessarily that article in and of itself, but I think it is interesting to see the sort of microscope that Cardano is being viewed under, in part, the sort of, revolutionary aspects and, innovation that it puts forward. Will be very interesting to see how that does have an influence on the narrative of overall what we see happening in the cryptocurrency space, and why Bitcoin is not worth shorting at this point. This is an interesting article as well, because I know many people love to get on the comment section and talk about the fact that in only in a couple of days we'll be seeing whether or not Bitcoin is going to, continue along its bearish more trajectory, or whether it will have sort of a break towards the 9,000 area currently trading, still sort of stuck at that 8K region. I'm more in the school of thought that thinks that overall we could go through more of a cold winter, again, sort of retrace possibly down to 5K. But of course, remember, this video is not financial advice. I'm just here stating my opinions on all these things. I'd always recommend you guys do your own research. I'm not your dad. But overall, I am waiting to see most of the altcoins and Bitcoin as well go on sale. It just sort of hurts the wallet accumulating at 8K, knowing that it's likely it will go down, but it's always a double-edged sword, that sort of thing. Anyways, of course, China's cryptocurrency has a powerful partner. Controversial crypto coins rise fuels China's trading ban. Yeah, definitely interesting stuff. Sort of par for the course, boring day in the crypto world. Not very much big news, that I really feel excited about talking about. But overall, I do maintain my cheerful, optimistic disposition when it comes to my perspective and my analysis. In particular, I do feel inclined to say that my opinion long term for Cardano is fundamentally bullish. I think that as we see the space continue to make a lot of these different innovations, it's going to be interesting to see how something like Cardano has a very interesting foothold in the conversation, due to not only the lack of an alternative, but at the same time, it's a damn good project. It's going to be interesting to see how blockchain revolutionizes so many different aspects of people's lives, and Cardano will certainly have a big role to play in that. And we're watching history unfold in front of our eyes right now, and it will be interesting to see. Like I keep saying, it will be very interesting to watch as this paradigm shift really takes place. And so Ethereum is known as the first generation blockchain platform for decentralized applications, a pioneer for sure, but which suffers from a very high profile scaling issues. This sort of does speak to a point that I've been trying to drive home over multiple videos about, the sort of logical progression of what we see, which might in fact be one of the greatest arguments against a long-term Bitcoin, which of course is the smart contracts of Ethereum building upon the concept of digital gold, the Satoshi vision, if you will, and then of course moving forward into what we can expect to see, the next logical progression, which I would say would be something along the lines of Cardano, a cryptocurrency that's sort of all in one. And I think that Charles Hoskinson is a very interesting figure to bring forth that vision. So it will be interesting to see how stuff like that does manifest itself in real time. But yeah, all that being said, I think I've stated the points that are important for today, October 20th, 2019, and I hope you guys have enjoyed my perspective. As always, make sure that you subscribe, comment down below, let us know what you think, and have a good day.